Hi, I'm very excited today because I have with me a special guest. Anais Plaskidas is a bi and queer affirmative therapist. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And I'm so happy to have you here today because we're going to be talking about kind of taboo topic, which is why is it that bi women sometimes lean away from dating bi men? And this comes from Amber Rose, who some of you might know. She's a rapper, she's a fashion designer, an ex of Kanye West, who is bisexual and was on a radio show talking about it. And one of the things she did say was that although she's bisexual, she wouldn't date a bi guy. Mm-hmm. And then added that she doesn't know why. So it's a complex topic, but since no one's talking about this, I thought, let's chat about this.
Yeah.
So why do you think it is that a bi woman would lean away from dating a bi guy?
I think everyone might have their different assumptions and biases they enter into relationships with. Mm-hmm. Definitely it's her job to figure out what that is for her. I think I was most alarmed, especially as a therapist, that she would just say after that she had no idea why. Mm-hmm. Couldn't back it up at all. So maybe we want to look at messages received from family, from religion, from culture, wherever it is we grew up, media portrayal of bi guys.
And is that media assumption that that bi guys are really just gay?
Right.
Which, now, there is an evolutionary aspect to this. I mean, to be fair, we are animals. Human beings are animals, and we have evolved to be able to procreate the species, and there are certain things that we as human beings are drawn to, and it's kind of hard to fight. Like, for example, women, no matter how woke they are, always have the evolutionary aspect of trying to find a mate. And you can choose to fight against it, you can choose not to fight against it, or to procreate. But it's up to you. But instinctual for all of us is, for women at least, being drawn to guys with high testosterone. Like, studies have shown that we as human beings are more attracted to people with symmetrical faces, and that's an indication of our immune system. So that's why we were drawn to it. Women are drawn to guys with high testosterone, with a stronger cheekbones is an indication of testosterone. So there's a whole evolutionary aspect to why it is that women are attracted to certain types. But then the assumption part of it, on top of that, is that, well, somehow bi guys aren't that. Maybe they're not, masculine or not.
Right. Because I think that's one part of it. The science definitely is, and it's there, but I think there's also room to kind of talk about the social construct, too.
Absolutely.
And to kind of smash the patriarchy in it, right? So if we're, for some reason, thinking of bi men as less masculine or less capable of being good partners, why is that? I think it definitely has to do with some kind of internalized patriarchy.
And then also the constant representation in the media of how bi guys are, or they just don't exist at all.
Right.
And then there's also that aspect that, and hey, this is on us bi guys, lack of representation just in terms of society. Like the fact that only recently bi guys have begun to embrace their bisexuality means that the initial impression of bisexual men are gay men who use the bisexual identity, then later on came out as gay. So certainly that comes into play as well. Like if a bi woman is looking at a bi guy, they can't escape the things that they've seen, and a lot of that has been, misrepresentation of gay men.
For sure.
So is there anything else that kind of comes into play there?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough subject of what it could possibly be the cause. We're not pretending to be the experts on this one. We're working through it just like you, and this is the beginning of the conversation that I'm hoping that you guys will continue to have in the comments section. But this is something that can be very helpful. What could we do to kind of push past it, or what could bisexual women do to push past these assumptions?
I think meet other bisexuals, be out in the community. If you're not surrounded in a region where there is a community for bisexuals, utilize online resources.
You know,
for sure, for education, for advocacy.
BiNet USA is a great Facebook group. So is Global Bisexual Network. Those are great places. In fact, the comment section of many of my videos are bisexuals talking to each other and getting to know each other. It's kind of awesome, actually. And of course, there's in-person groups.
Yeah, meet the bi guys.
Yeah.
Actually meet them.
You would be quite surprised talking to them, just how like everyone else they are. And the great thing about bisexuality is it's a spectrum. So there are bi guys that are masculine. There are bi guys that are more sensitive. There are bi guys that are just smack bam in the middle. And the more you go out and meet these people, the more normal it seems, the more, you know, attractive they seem, actually. Just saying. So yeah, so that's meeting people. As a therapist, I would imagine that this is something that could be addressed when talking to a professional. Totally.
Part of the process, right? If you're unsure of why you believe something you believe, be curious about it. And part of that is, I mean, it's a lot of hard work. It's not easy. But I think we owe it to our partners, to our future partners, to ourselves, to really understand why we believe what we believe. And part of that would be having a bi-affirmative therapist.
Yeah, and I think it's possible that these beliefs are also linked to other stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Like the reason you thinking that bi guys are a certain way tied to what you think about men in general, or what you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself, and what being with a guy who has been with another guy says about you, and all these. It's so complex.
So complex.
But I imagine also there are books, finding things that present bisexuals in positive lights, both men and women. I think that's probably like a cure to a lot of things having to do with bisexuality.
Yeah.
So whether they're, in terms of a podcast that you might want to check out, it's called The Love Bomb. And it's a podcast from Nico Tortorella, who is a out bisexual male actor who is on the TV show Younger. And he talks about the relationships that he's been in with both men and women in a very open, honest way. And just like listening to things like that, where there are positive messages from bisexuals talking about what they are and who they are, could give you a different impression about who bisexuals are.
Totally. If you want information on a community, go to the community.
Exactly.
Period.
The books they write, the podcasts they make, the videos they make, and all that stuff. Yeah. And of course, there's that idea of self-reflection.
Self-reflection. The therapist will take this one.
Yes.
Journaling is a great thing to do. If things come up for you throughout a week and you're in between therapy, or you're not even in therapy and you're just curious and you're reflective, journal, write it down. Take all of that in. Be curious about what's coming up for you with thoughts, feelings that arise when you do meet bisexual men. Great opportunity to go home and journal and think about what came up for you in the interaction. It teaches you a lot about yourself too, which is amazing.
And the idea that, you know, if you meet a guy and they checklist everything, like they have all the qualities you want, and then you find out they're bi, and then you become less attracted to them.
Yeah, be curious about why that is.
Yeah.
You know, someone being bisexual is different than them having a certain hair color or wearing a certain outfit that you're attracted to, or a body type.
Yeah.
Different.
And there are a lot of negative assumptions out there, we'll just say, about bisexual men being unclean in some way, whether it's unclean in their representation of masculinity, was unclean in a biological sense. There's just a lot of stuff out there that people take on, which are simply untrue. And one of the things that one might want to ask oneself why they think this is the case. But it's a very, very complex topic. We basically only touched on scratching the surface here. But I'm so happy that you came to have this conversation with me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's an important conversation to have, and hopefully there'll be more people out there talking about this as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can always go to Teespring and check out my t-shirts. Also, if you like to check out my books, because I am a bi author and I do write bisexual romance and I write about bisexual men. If you want to check that out, there's a link to my books below. Many of them right now are 99 cents. If you want to check that out. But please, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I do many videos on bisexual topic, but I don't do them on a regular basis, but I do them frequently. So if you want to know when a new video comes out, you have to click on that subscription button and a little bell, and YouTube will tell you when a new video is coming out. Till next video, stay cooler, my bisexual friend. Stay cooler. Bye.